what we'll do right now is start with Mark Biedlingmaier, who is a graduate of UC Berkeley, just recently a graduate degree. Prior to that, he's a graduate of UCLA and has been working in the food systems work, the planning, the thinking, the strategic thinking of the university around food systems. So we're here, we've asked you here to share what you've learned in your work in those years and what you hear from students and what you think about how this program could fit in with your goals.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here today. Got the weight of 300,000 UC students on my shoulders, so I'll do the best to kind of represent us all. But yeah, real quickly, yes, I did my undergrad at UCLA. I'm a UC boy. I'm a master gardener with UCANR. That's really where my kind of love and interest for food systems started. I received a fellowship from the Office of the President. It's the Global Food Initiative Fellowship. I'll talk a little bit about that later, but really transformed the way I think about food systems and how the way we eat can really touch upon various aspects of our life, improving, the economy, the environment, equity, problems that we face, these wicked problems that we face in society. And so, was really lucky to get invited to work in the Chancellor's office after I graduated to work on public health and food systems work. A lot of that was connected to food literacy, so I managed a community garden and orchard, tied that to academic programs. We did a little bit of food security efforts and donating fresh produce to our food closet on campus, and that is a very big, pressing challenge for UC students, food security. Different reports out there say estimates from 20, 30, sometimes even 40% of students face some degree of food insecurity. And so the rising cost of education compounds that. There's housing challenges there as well. But food is something that I've learned that we all share in common, right? We all eat 3 times a day, sometimes us a little more, a little less. But it's an opportunity to change these challenges, every single day. And so that has stayed with me in the work that I did. And I ultimately decided to go and study at UC Berkeley, and my program was in the School of Public Health in the Environmental Health Sciences Department, studying global health and the environment. I was really lucky to kind of continue some of the work that I did as a student, as a staff member. I spoke a little bit about the Global Food Initiative. Then President Janet Napolitano created that initiative as well as the Carbon Neutrality Initiative, and so that, in my understanding, was recognition of students who have a lot of progressive, just, sometimes idealistic in good ways, how we can change the world. And the universities are these really inspiring, creative, collaborative ways to do that. More recently, I started working on a project with the Office of the President, and that's on a food, labor, and procurement project. 3 years ago, we had the COVID-19 pandemic. That's kind of a result of the way that our society, has been developed over time with a lot of these systemic challenges that we face. And so thinking about how labor and how crucial that is to sustainability, it's not just the land, but it, of course, is based upon the land. And so thinking about how the UC system, in collaboration with other universities, can think about how we can move forward fair, value-based supply chains, and the universities are a great way to do that. And so that's a little bit about what I've done, what really inspires me, what gets me up. And yeah, in terms of what do students want, I'd say the most pressing challenge of my generation is climate change. That is something that is here. It's more present every single day, and new cohorts, first years, as they keep coming year after year, they're going to be more aware of that. And so looking for sustainable solutions. I think the UC system is, a little bit tuned into more of that as we are in California. It's the breadbasket of the world. We have the salad bowl of the nation. We're a land-grant university system. We have an obligation to steward these natural resources that have been stewarded by not just the people in this room who are doing excellent work, but also communities and indigenous groups for years after years after years. And so UC students want to honor that moving forward. We want to see more of that. And they do that sometimes through the dining hall, by the dining halls they choose. At UCLA, I had a real honor and privilege to have a place called Brewing Plate. Chef Joey down there, shout out to his culinary team, have really made an outstanding dining experience that's based on kind of a California cuisine. It's based on local foods. It's very climate conscious, and it's always a very, very popular place to go. There's lines out the door. People will wait for that food. It's healthy, an amazing salad bar. They have rice bowls. They have fresh meats, grilled meats. And so students love to go there, and they love to work on projects there. It's not just the students, the first and second years, who are eating there. I myself, and as an upperclassman, was working on projects, sustainable projects, food procurement projects, I should say. And there's more and more of that. Excuse me. We had the UCLA Rothman Family Institute for Food Studies that was just endowed recently. That houses the Food Studies minor, the Graduate Certificate in Food Systems. Berkeley has that as well, Berkeley Food Institute. I did that program, and this was their biggest cohort yet. And so thinking about the student interest around this is just going to be more on the forefront. And I'm probably speaking a little bit, and I'll start to wrap it up with just that global food initiative that really changed my life. I actually took some time off of school to work on farms to get that experiential, really working lifestyle knowledge that I feel like really facilitated my learning in these complex kind of challenges. And they just recently announced that that fellowship will still be around, but it will be focused on regenerative food systems. The president also accelerated our goal of 25% sustainable food by 2030 up to 2025. And so this is a very exciting space, and I'm just going to wrap up with saying that there's a lot of impressive knowledge in this room, and I think working with UC, not just the UC, there's also the CSU system who works collaboratively with procurement. And so I think we can get it done. It just takes a lot of good effort and a good fight that everyone here is doing already. So I'll stop there. Sorry for rambling.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good.